Hello and welcome everyone. We are just going to give it a couple more minutes for people to tune in and then get settled, and we're going to get underway. Okay. All right, it looks like we are ready to go. Thank you for joining us today for our event, our RSU Alumni Book Talk. Our guest author today is Brittany Crawford. But before I get too deep into her introduction, I do want to cover a few housekeeping topics. So today's event is being recorded and will be available to view after the event is complete on our YouTube channel with closed captions for accessibility. We welcome you to revisit the presentation yourself, and then of course you can share it with your friends, family, classmates, colleagues, and really anyone who would benefit from a bit of inspiration from a local author. Throughout today's event, also, we invite you to share your comments and questions. So please locate the Facebook comment box. And if you think of a question for the speaker at any point, just go ahead and type it there. I'm going to be monitoring it for questions, and then I will hold those for the discussion portion at the end of the event. All right. Our guest today is Brittany Crawford, an RSU alumna from 2000 and 2006, and author of the Tilly Green book series, a series of weather-related books for children with the goal of making them feel prepared, not scared. The Tilly Green series books can be purchased on Amazon, Lulu, and boarding house books, in Claremore. And now when Brittany is not writing, she is a volunteer at the Lakeview Early Learning Academy in Skiatook. She works with ages 2 to 10 years old. She also loves to read and shop. Now, our moderators today will be the Cameron University elementary education students who are currently in class at Rogers State University. Through an amazing partnership with Cameron University, RSU Claremore students can earn a bachelor's degree in elementary education and social studies education. Now, at this time, I'm going to hand the floor over to Cameron professor, Dr. Richardson.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. This is pretty exciting that we have an author, right, that's an alumni from RSU. We are in our social studies methods class, and these are our students here who are studying to be teachers. We actually have 2 at home who just had babies who are also watching. And we purchased the books and have read them, and we have some questions for you. So let's start.
Okay.
So good morning. My name is Christina. Thank you for being with us. I read Tilly and the Ferocious Flood. It was really cute. I loved it. And I noticed that your book had the theme of Christianity. Is that something you carry through on all of your books?
No, actually not. This was the first one that I tried involving Christianity with, and the thing about my books is they're all centered in community places. Like my first one, the tornado book, was centered around a school. This one is considered centered around a church. My next one is centered around a softball field. It's places in the community.
How many books have you written so far?
I've written 3 in the Tilly series. I'm working on my 4th one in a Tilly series right now. But in 2010, I wrote and published a book called I Sit in a Wheelchair, But I Will Be Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And that's based on my own life with cerebral palsy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, very nice.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you decided to become an author?
Well, I think the general consensus back in I've been doing this for as long as I can remember. Back in 6th grade, my reading teacher, Mrs. Wagner, I went to Adair High School and Adair Middle School. And in middle school, Mrs. Wagner, she assigned an essay on what it was like to be a disabled person. Well, I already had cerebral palsy, so I thought, okay, let's try blindness for 24 hours. And for me to go as a blind person for 24 hours, I have the utmost respect for blind individuals. And Mrs. Wagner liked that essay so much, she put it in the school newspaper, and my words in print, to see that was astounding. I loved it. And I thought, well, I can do this.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is the power of a teacher, right?
Right.
Okay. Who else has a question?
I do. Gabby here. I was just curious, going a little more into depth with what you had just said. So was that the turning point to make you want to become a published author?
Yes, I would say so. And I had great help along the way from my middle school teachers, my high school teachers, and of course, my professors at Rogers State University.
Okay. So with the Tilly series, how did you come across with your ideas?
Well, in April 2019, there was a tornado warning for the city of Skiatook, Oklahoma, in Osage County. And I was volunteering at a place called Head Start. We served 3 through 5-year-olds at the time. And anytime there is a tornado warning, of course, we have to get those 3, 4, and 5-year-olds into our safe room immediately. And a lot of these kids had never been through a tornado in their life. We practiced drills with them. We had done everything we knew how to do, and yet they were like, oh, this is the real thing, you know. And so some of them were scared, some of them were crying. I mean, these are 3, 4, and 5-year-old children. So what I did before I left the classroom, I was volunteering in that day. I grabbed a book. I think it was Billy Goat's Gruff or something like that. I'm not really sure. And then I walked to our tornado shelter, and while our staff was checking the cell phones and the news stations, I calmed the kids down by reading to them, and they really seemed to like it.
And my final question is, I read Tilly and the Electrifying Thunderstorm. I noticed that you did black and white illustrations, and the other ones I noticed have color. Is there a reason why you chose black and white for this specific book?
Well, actually, on Amazon, that is the way they come out. I'm not sure why, but if you buy the Tilly and the Electrifying Thunderstorm on Lulu, they are in color. So no, there's no rhyme or reason for that on Amazon. And once I uploaded it on Amazon, my publisher couldn't change it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have the Tilly and the Terrible Tornado, and I read the beginning, so I kind of understood the reason why you wanted to write the book. And I think that is a wonderful idea to calm the students, because I know personal experience with sirens. The sirens, whether the flood sirens that we had, was it 2 years ago when we had all those terrible floods? how scary those sirens are to young children, and because they don't understand what's happening. So for you to write a book about it to kind of help teachers read these books aloud, especially now that we're going into that season, I think it was a wonderful idea. So my hat's off to you. So how did you find someone to publish your book?
Well, I searched the internet. I knew I had tried with my first one. I sit in a wheelchair, but I will be okay. I had tried to jump to the bigger publishers. Well, nobody really wanted it, and then I kind of searched the internet for. I was like, okay, what does Oklahoma? I wonder if anybody in Oklahoma would be willing to publish it. Well, in October 2019, I found a young lady. Her name is LP Johnson, and she runs Night Riders Publishing in Oklahoma City. And I reached out to her, not really expecting to hear anything, much like these other publishers were. But within 24 hours, I had a message for her to call. She wanted to talk to me. So I called her and she said, "This is great. I want to publish it. I want to run with it." So then we started sitting down and talking about specifics. And then for this book, the Tilly and the Terrible Tornado, came out in December 2019. And almost immediately afterward, I started on Tilly and the Ferocious Flood. I showed that to her too, thinking, oh, well, she's not going to want to publish it. I was wrong. And it's been a kind of a working relationship ever since with me and Tilly and LP Johnson.
Wonderful. Now, your illustrations, how did you illustrate these? Did you use, I noticed some of them look like clip art.
No. I can tell you, it is safe to say that I only draw stick people. So LP Johnson did the inside of the illustrations. And yes, I do think they were made primarily through clip art. But my covers, these covers were illustrated by my friend, Darlene Villalobos. And she lives right here in Skiatook. And she was also an art teacher at the time. So so she's illustrated all the covers, and I think she's done an excellent job.
They're really cute.
Yes, they did. Yes, they are very, very cute. She did an excellent job. Do we have any other questions you'd like to ask? Okay, we have some more questions.
Okay.
Good morning. My name is Caitlin Herbert, and I just had one question. And what was your aha moment in writing these books that you knew, like, you had to go get these published?
Well, my aha moment would be the fact that I wanted these kids to be prepared, not scared, because tornado sirens, floods, they're scary for anybody. And with 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, when you deal with them being scared, you have to really talk it down to their level and say, it's okay, you're going to be okay. And Tilly's going to show you how to be okay. So eventually I want to write about snowstorms. I want to write about even volcanoes, tsunamis, hurricanes. Those will take a little bit more studying, of course, but because all three of the tornado book and the flood book was based on true events that actually happened.
Wow. That was a question I had, Christina. Did you know people that went through these instances like Tilly and the flood, or were you that person?
The flood book was based on the flood that we had in May of 2019. And I'd actually knew somebody from Head Start. One of the Head Start parents lost their home. This family had 5 little girls. 2 of them attended Head Start, and my heart just went out to them. But did this mama sit and cry? Oh no, she just got up and started rebuilding almost the very next day. And I thought, wow, if she can do it with 5 little girls, anybody can do it.
Awesome. My 9-year-old had me read this Tilly and the Flood to her last night because she saw me reading it. And she loved that in the end that Tilly went to take swimming lessons.
Oh yes, I also think that is very important.
Yeah, she said that would be very scary because she just went through that experience, but that she had to do it. Like she could see your message in that. So I think you did a very good job.
Thank you.
I think I might have the last question over here, and you might have touched on it already, but what are you, do you have any other books in the making, or do you have ideas on what you're going to do next, or you can continue the series, or?
Yes, I am going to continue the series. I am working on a book right now entitled Percy in the Powerful Pandemic. And you students might be interested in this, but all of my titles will use some form of alliteration in the title. I honestly did not plan that, but it's worked out really well. But anyway, yes, Percy and the Powerful Pandemic. Percy is Tilly's 4-year-old cousin that goes to stay with Tilly and her mom for a week, or actually 2 weeks, and because they're on their second honeymoon. But Percy's parents get caught on a cruise ship that somebody had tested positive for the coronavirus. So we're going to talk about how children are handling corona.
Awesome. I look forward to hearing more about that. Yeah, sounds amazing.
Yeah, great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have one question, because obviously everything in my brain goes back to your teachers and how they encouraged you to write, and that encouragement led you just to love writing. When you were in college, what did you major in college?
Well, I majored in liberal arts both times.
Okay.
You know, it's so funny. I started out to want to become a journalist, but due to my cerebral palsy, I cannot drive a car. And one of the major requirements of a journalist is to drive a car. And so one of my advisors asked me, well, liberal arts is kind of a catch-all. You could do liberal arts. So I said, okay, let's do it. And in 2000, when I got my associates, I was like, okay, I'm done. But I really want to learn more. So that's when my advisor came back and said, why don't we go for a bachelor's? And I said, okay. So I just kept right on going.
Wonderful. So did your English classes help you quite a bit then perfect your writing?
Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to throw out some names here. Dr. Mary Mackey, I hope you're watching, because you were a big part. Your creative writing classes helped me so much. You were a big part in these books, although you don't know it yet. And Laura Gray, the novel class, because I say that because I believe in order to be a good writer, you also have to be a good reader.
Very good. Yes. We just finished our 8-week reading class here at Cameron. So I'm glad you reinforced that to our students here. But we've really enjoyed reading your books and appreciate that you took the time to come and talk to us.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it, and maybe one day I'll make it down to Cameron to actually sign them.
Well, we're actually here at Rogers State. Our mothership, as we call it, is in Lawton, but we are Claremore residents. We are Owasso residents. Bartlesville.
Awesome.
Tulsa, right? Tulsa, some of us, yeah. Collinsville. So we're right here. If you're ever on campus, we would love for you to come and sign our books.
Well, okay, I'll take you up on that.
She's coming. Yeah, here she
Hi
is.
guys, I'm back.
Hi.
I just had one quick question. Have you worked with many public libraries yet, or is that something you're hoping to work with?
That's something I'm hoping to work with, because the answer is no. I haven't worked with very many because obviously the pandemic threw a wrench into my plans with that, but I'm hoping that I get to work with public libraries more.
That's awesome. Well, I was just looking at the comments, and our director of RSU Alumni said he's very excited to be a part of this, and I'm so glad that we were able to come together. And then the RSU Alumni Association said, "Go Brittany, we love our RSU alumni." Is there anything else that you would like to say? Maybe some advice that you would like to give to future writers or those who might be interested or have maybe never even considered writing until this point?
My writing it's a lot of work, but it's also rewarding. It's the magic of the pen, pretty much. But I would say to students, do not give up on your goals and dreams, because I went to Rogers State for a total of 10 years, taking about 2 to 3 classes at a time. And my brother even had said, well, most doctors take, that's like a doctor's degree. You should have a doctor's by now. But it didn't matter to me. I loved learning. Reading and writing go hand in hand. So be sure you read all you can, write all you can, and just never give up.
That's excellent advice. I did also want to mention, we had a couple more comments. Dr. Goltra, who is head of our, I believe, student affairs, he purchased 2 of your books. And he's going to give them to his 3 and 1-year-old girls. And so he says, thank you so much for representing RSU. And then also, Rogers State University has a relationship with Claremont Elementary School here in Claremore. And the RSU Alumni Association has purchased all 3 of your books as their partner and donated to the Claremont Elementary School. So we're so glad that we were able to do that. Okay.
Maybe one day.
Dr. Goltra said he actually purchased all 3 books. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing your next publication. I think it's wonderful that you're going to do one over the pandemic. I think that's fantastic. Okay. And also, just for those who are watching on Facebook, you will note that I have pinned a comment that if you are interested in purchasing these books, I've provided links to all 3 of the books, so you can go in and purchase them. Those are links to Amazon, but if you want to support a local bookstore here in Claremore, I just wanted to remind you that Boarding House Books also has the books available for sale. Of course, it's important to support small businesses, but of course, it's important to support local writers however you can. So it's also available for purchase at Lulu. Is that lulu.com, Brittany?
Yes.
And that's LULU.
Yeah.
So, but again, those links are there in our comments section. Does anybody have any last minute questions? Just checking the comments here real quick to see if any more come in. Give it just a second. All right. And I'm going to be putting a link in our, again, in our comments box. And this is a little feedback form that we like to use. If you enjoy this event and you would like to see more author events, we would encourage, there it is, it's just popped up there. I'm going to pin it to the top of our comments. We would encourage you to fill out this form and let us know what you thought of this event. And if you have ideas for future events, please include that information there. All right. Thank you again so much, Brittany. We really appreciate you being here with us today. And again, this event will be available on our YouTube channel, RSU Libraries YouTube channel, in just a couple of weeks with those closed captions. And we encourage you to share this video with them for inspiring future writers.
Yes, and I definitely will do that.
Okay. Thank you to everyone. And we appreciate it so much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.